Hello everyone, this is K9S8E2 coming to you with another video about manga. The manga I'm going to refer to is called Nononono. That's four no's, but this manga is really only for teenagers, not little kids, not little kids whatsoever. This manga is really ichi. And if you don't know what ichi means, it's like perverted in Japan. It's like perverted actions. No, hinta usually means perverted, but not really. Hinta is more like the perverted things. Ichi is like the perverted actions. So in reality, I think hinta is more like porn, but ichi is more like sub level porn, like going on the verge of porn, but not porn. So, yeah, that's mostly what this manga has, but it's not just that. I'm not just bringing that up because it only has like softcore porn. This manga has sports in it, a really interesting sport to be more exact, called ski jumping. And I really don't like sports mangas at all because I think they're boring and who would really want to read about a sport that they can't do because most people that read manga can't do sports. That's just how it kind of goes. It's like saying if you're a magician, there's not there's no chance that you're also going to be the greatest baseball player ever. It doesn't work like that. Life doesn't give you two. You don't get to have like if you're really smart and somewhat of a nerd, you're not going to be able to play a sport like basketball and football and be a beast. It's just not how God works. He doesn't give you two. He doesn't give you the ability to be Superman. It doesn't work like that. And that's what I wanted to bring up is that sports mangas are somewhat boring because you don't have people who are manga guys that actually read sports mangas because they like sports. Maybe they are active in some way, but no, they don't really play the sport. But the sport that really is played in no, four no's, remember, is ski jumping, and it's more of a sport that I didn't even know existed until I read the manga. It's ski jumping. It's pretty much you're skiing down this big slope and you're hoping to get all this air as you're like falling down. So it's like skiing but to the extreme. I never knew that ski jumping existed. I never knew that it was something really big in like Japan. Like Japan is like where most of it takes place and they're always talking about how Japan is the best at ski jumping and whatnot. But the main premise of the story that makes it interesting is that it's not your regular story of this guy who's the best trying to be even better and go on. No, that's not how no works. It works like when you're first introduced to the main character, he's pretty cocky and brash and arrogant, and you're thinking, wow, this guy's a douche. And it's like, okay, whatever. And so he competes with another person who's equally skilled, but somewhat better than him. Like, they're both not really talked about. Like, the main character is talked about as in he's weak, pathetic, useless. He can't do ski jumping well, and everybody thinks he should quit because he has failed throughout all his life. And the other guy that he's going against is better than him because he's been champions of ski jumping before. He has a great record. People believe that he's going to go on to be the best and do the Olympics because that's what this manga is about. It's like the main character trying to get to the Olympics. But so they have their little ski jumping competition. You learn about in the first chapter. You learn about everything about ski jumping, like how do you get points, what do you do, how how you set up to do the jumps, all that good stuff. And after you see the main character wins, of course. The main character wins. That's just how it is. The main character wins. Um, but the thing that's the most shocking is that at the end of that chapter, you find out that the main character is actually a girl. So she is trying to enter the Olympics. And the reason why she's pretending to be a guy is because females can't enter the Olympics. And this plays a big part in the story because of her skill as a female ski jumper that makes her so that is kind of like a curse, but it's also a gift, and it plays a really important part in the story. I don't want to give away too much because I really want you to read the manga, but what I'm trying to say is that it's a very interesting sports manga. The Ichi stuff that I'm talking about is she usually gets involved because she's the main character, so of course she's gonna be the one that always gets the Ichi stuff's going to circle around her because she's the main character. That's just how it works. But yeah, it has a lot of. I'm trying to think of the word for these chapters. Every chapter is like every chapter in No is usually never a bore. Like you may think it's going to get boring, but as soon as you find the boring spot, it picks right back up and gets you thinking about what's going to happen next, and that's what keeps me wanting to read it, even though it's a sports manga, even though it has Ichi. But not the Ichi doesn't really consume everything about it. So, but I think that's a big point because it plays a lot of the language is Ichi language, and there are some twisted people in this manga, like this her elder senpai is a violent man. He hits somebody in the face with a ski because he simply asked the person, which sport do you think is better, your sport or ski jumping? And the guy says, oh, of course, my sport. And so the person that asked the question, he decides, oh, really, you think your sport's better than ski jumping? And hits him with the ski. It just busts his face in with the ski. And then he's on the ground. Then the guy is on the ground, bleeding and running away. And if you should feel bad, but at the same time you shouldn't, because the guy that got hit in the face tried to rape the main character because he rapes all his roommates because he's like the big guy on campus and he's really big and there's no way for you to fight back. And so you pretty much just accept it that you're gonna get raped when you look because she's a girl, but she's disguising herself as a boy. Everybody believes that she's just a really feminine boy, and thus it's easy for she was the perfect target for a big guy like him to get raped. So that's how that works. But there's another part in this manga where um, uh, the guys people get like stabbed, people get injured during this sport. I never knew people got injured during ski jumping, but they do. Like even the main character um, gets injured. And another point is that the main character doesn't always win, and that's pretty much very interesting. In that each chapter, when they enter an event, it builds up suspense because the main character doesn't always win. The main character has like her own Achilles heel that stops her from like flying into the sky, even though she really loves ski jumping and she can really beat even the best, even the people that are supposed to be the greatest, that are unsurpassable by even adults, but that have surpassed other adults. The people that she's going against have surpassed adults, and then she just surpasses them some way. And but the way they show her in other competitions, she is slowly starting to develop that she isn't the greatest and that there are other people out there because it just keeps going with her winning, and eventually it comes down to her like getting lower. Um, she goes against tougher opponents, and that makes her realize that getting to the Olympics isn't going to be as easy. And then at the same time, she's trying to hide her identity as a girl because she feels that if she found out that she's a girl, then she won't be able to enter the Olympics, and then she won't be able to avenge her father and her brother, who she her brother is the person whose life she's taken over, and it's a lot of conflict because she wants to be a girl, and at the same time she can't be a girl. Yet she goes through girl feelings, like she has a crush on someone, and she there's this other girl who's in love with her, but only because she thinks that the girl that's in love with her thinks she's a guy. And the thing is that she's afraid that it's just her being a female plays it's just a burden on her life, on her idea of entering the Olympics, and that's what the manga usually plays around. So I think you should really check out No 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 Four No's, just Four No's together. That's the title. It's a really interesting read in sports manga with a little Ichi. So if you love To Love Ru, stuff like that, um, I say you should read it. It's a worthwhile read. Alright then, bye.